my voice sounds when it's gone. Not for singing, but for talking. I'm like, man, I sound sexy.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I have this.
Yeah, you sound sexy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. but when I'm filming, and then I have to ADR because it doesn't end up matching.
Are you filming right now?
No, I'm about to go film something though in Vancouver.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can you say what it is?
No, because we're on strike. So we have the interim agreement to film, but I don't know if we got it to promote it. So I think he'll say nothing.
Well, it's good for getting we're on camera.
I can't believe you're taking me on a fucking hike right now.
At 6 a.m.
I haven't hiked in Los Angeles in a very long time. I used to. What? Oh. What were you looking at?
I was tying my shoe. Oh. Last time I was here, there were frogs.
Okay, thank God. I didn't know
Are you
what
good
you
with
were
frogs?
gonna say. I'm cool with frogs. I ate frogs in Singapore.
You're trying to save the frogs.
Oh, well, they're delicious.
Really?
Yeah, they're really good. They taste like chicken.
Like a big frog.
No, it was like a frog stew. So I was in Singapore with my mom, and one of her coworkers is from there, so he was like taking us around and showing us, you know, cool places and good restaurants. And then the stew has like sauces and frogs and vegetables, and you just eat the frogs. It was my first time eating it like that, and I wasn't sure how to feel at first, but it was actually really good.
I bet it would be good.
It literally just tastes like chicken. It's just seeing the frog body, you're like, ugh.
But like, how big is the frog?
It's like this big.
Okay, so it's like a big
So
frog.
you gotta like, you know, and the bones are in it and shit.
Oh.
So you gotta like take it off the bone and everything.
Dang. The frogs that were here were like this big. Little poppers.
Oh.
Bite size. What else has been up since I saw you last?
Dude, just like traveling a shit ton.
Yeah, you have been traveling a lot.
Which has been fucking awesome. Cause my mom, she became a flight attendant again.
Oh, cool.
So now I can use all her benefits. I was very grateful. Thanks, Mom. But I've just been fucking traveling, which has been
Where'd you go?
amazing. And I went to, where did I go? I went to Spain first with some girlfriends, and
Wow.
then I went to Barcelona. I went to Mallorca. I went to the Philippines. I went to Malaysia, which was cool. And then I went to Singapore, which is like basically just it's like a clean New York.
Singapore?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a really fucking cool city. And then I came back here, and my best friend was like, hey, you wanna go to Ohio? And I was like, fuck it. So I went to Ohio with him. And then I went to Paris, and then I went to Atlanta, and then I came back.
Dang.
Yeah.
You've been jumping.
Jumping.
Wow.
Grid working.
Yo, for real grid working.
Actually,
You're spreading it. Wow.
Could have warned a gal. Would have done some fucking breath work before. just to get my body ready. But
You
yeah,
do breath work.
Yeah. I like hypno breath work
What
or
is
hypnotherapy.
hypno breath work? I've never done that.
Yeah, so my teacher, she'll do it to me when she does Reiki with me. This way?
Yeah.
She basically like takes you through a specific breath work. And then you kind of get to like envision what you need to, and it's like very healing, and you get answers that you're looking for on specific things, and it's really cool.
I did breath work. The first time I did breath work actually was so intense. My whole body went into this like fetal, I couldn't even help it. It was intense.
Interesting.
But it was like I took a bunch of drugs, but I didn't.
Yeah, fair. I believe you.
It's crazy.
I gotta be honest, I've not just sat and like this in LA in a very long time.
Yeah, this is nice.
Have you ever had a glitch?
Every day.
But like not just because you couldn't speak or something, but like, like
Words
like,
are hard.
Words are hard.
Believe me.
Like a glitch where like you see something, but like it's not really there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And in high school, I had probably more, where I would like be looking on the road and I'd see like a cat or I'd see a person and then it would just vanish. It wouldn't be there.
Me and my friend, we were staying at another friend's place in Malibu, and we were driving up PCH to go to Ralph's, and we saw this diner. It's called the Malibu Diner. We both looked at it and we both were like, oh, like, that's like cool. And he was like, yo, we should go there one day. And I was like, yeah, we should. So both saw Malibu Diner. It's fucking massive.
Malibu Diner.
Saw people in the diner with all the windows and shit.
Okay.
And then maybe like 3 or 4 days later, we're like, oh, let's go to the diner. So we drive up PCH, and it's not fucking there. It's just gone. Completely gone. We drove up and down that bitch. It was massive. I'm like, how? One, I'm not the only one that
Did
saw
you Google it?
it. Doesn't exist.
Malibu Diner doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. But we literally saw it in big letters, the whole diner with people inside it.
What?
And then it was just gone. And I still look on PCH to see if it'll come back up again, but it has not returned.
Well, you're definitely a time traveler.
Yeah. And then it happened to me again because same friend, we were meeting up with one of our buddies because we were working on a script, and he lives in Silver Lake, and his driveway up to the house is like, it's like super slanted. It's a crazy driveway. And when I was going up it, the cars are parked on the side, and I saw my friend's car. So his car is like this little silver sedan with a giant Firebird decal in the front of it.
Okay.
It's funny.
Bold.
But like fire car. and then so in my head I was like, oh, okay, like Gunner's here, cool. So I go up, we do our whole session, and then we're leaving, and I was like, do you want me to drive you back down to your car? And he's like, yeah, sure. I'm driving back down, and then he's like, oh, it's right here. And I was like, wait, you have your Lyft car? And he was like, yeah. I was like, no, you don't. I saw your Firebird here. And he was like, no, Paris, I didn't fucking go back to my apartment really quick and bring back my Lyft car. And I was like, no, I literally saw the fucking car with the bird on the front. And I was like, do you have a bandana hanging up in your rearview mirror? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what color is it? And he was like, white. And I was like, I saw your fucking white bandana.
What?
Yeah.
So what do you think it is? When that happens, what's going on?
I think, was it a hummingbird? I think that it's, for like a second, I'm like seeing two universes at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I think it is. It's,
that would make
it's like
sense.
a little glitch where I'm like, it's like the glass is kind of shattering a little bit, and then it's like, oh wait, shit.
The illusion pulls back, and it's some different timeline, but you're in the same space.
Yeah.
Or you're in the same place, not the same space in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But like the
That
Malibu
actually makes
Diner
sense.
too, it looked, I mean, most diners look retro-y, but that one did. So if it's like looking at that
Right.
same spot.
I wonder if it ever existed. That would be interesting to figure out.
gotta look
If
that
there was a point. But it could also just be a different universe. Or a
Yeah.
different,
Planet, a different Earth.
yeah, a different Earth.
different
a different
universe.
version of Earth. Or someone started the Malibu Diner.
Yeah, glitches.
Dang, that's pretty cool. What do you think you were doing before you became a human?
Oh, that's a good question. I've never thought of that.
Or your soul before you came here?
I feel like I was like a goddess of sorts.
Yeah, you were definitely a goddess of sorts.
Fuck yeah.
100%.
What about you?
I definitely traveled a lot before I came here. Different planets, inhabited some different things. I trained with a god.
I see that.
And I was like, all right, now I gotta come do this Earth thing for a little bit.
I gotta leave my paradise.
Yeah, I gotta leave my paradise, do this Earth thing.
That's cool.
Earth is cool though.
I like Earth.
It's slow though. Don't you think it moves slow?
I actually think it moves very fast.
You do? Man, I feel like, because I'll think something and see something, and I'm just like, should be done. Because in light, you think it, your thoughts become that thing instantly. But then in matter, when we're on Earth, it's like you thinking, and you gotta do all this stuff to get it to happen.
In terms of that, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But as far as time goes, I think it goes very fast.
Yeah, I guess it does go fast in a way.
Because I'm gonna be 25 next month. And I was like thinking about that last night, and I was like, damn, like, I came here when I was 14.
Whoa.
And I was
You
just
came
like,
when you were 14.
And I was just like, what happened? And my friend, whose birthday was yesterday, me and Michaela have been friends for 10 years. So as long as we've lived out here, we've been friends. And so celebrating her 25th birthday, I was just like, wow. And I was looking at her sister who has a baby now. And it's just like, I was just looking at everyone and I was like, what happened? Like, what is, it just went by so fast. She like blinked.
Dang. I can't believe you were 14 when you came out here. Did you always want to act, or why do you think you wanted to become an actor? Especially that young, knowing.
Well, at first I wanted to be a singer.
You did?
I fucking loved music. I was like listening to like the iPod Nano, you know?
Oh yeah.
The skinny one.
Oh yeah.
Is that what it's called? The
Yeah.
Nano? And then I would use LimeWire so I could download all the music I wanted.
Of course. LimeWire.
But I loved singing and I loved performing, and then acting kind of came later on. But I don't know. I just loved performing. I knew I had a lot of feelings, and when you're young, you don't really know what to do with them or why you feel them. But I loved like performing because then it was like an outlet to like kind of let it out. But I started acting classes when I was like 12, and then I came out here to try pilot season, and one of the casting directors like sent my info to like the senior VP of Disney Channel. So then I ended up having like a big general meeting with them, and then after that I was just like auditioning for all their pilots.
Were you nervous when you were a kid going into auditions?
Yeah.
You were?
I wasn't because I was a gymnast before. So that shit, I'm like, I will never be as nervous for anything than how I was nervous to flip on a beam in front of a bunch of people. So I think the first 10 years of that helped me with my nervousness. But I was like...
Dang, you had 10 years of gymnastics before you started acting?
10
So you were
years.
like 5 years old?
Yeah, I was 4. 10 years of gymnastics, 10 years of acting. This year was 10 years for me.
You got started quick.
I did.
Wow.
Coyote or woman?
Woman.
Okay.
I think that was a woman. Pretty sure that was a woman.
As a coyote.
That was a coyote.
All right, shut the fuck up. But yeah, no, I was a gymnast for 10 years. I started real young.
That's wild.
When I look at old videos of myself, I'm like, damn, like, why the fuck do we let these kids do this shit?
Dude, we're so cool though. Like,
It's so cool.
it's so cool. I think about, I used to do ballet when I was a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, yo, you were so cool. You were so cool to just, I did ballet and karate. And I went home to my mom one day and I was like, Mom, all I need is ballet and Jesus.
And she was like,
She's like, yeah.
yes. Yes, son.
Aha,
Exactly.
you're on the
Figured it
path.
out. You're going down the right way. Yeah, when I moved out here 14, and then my old gym had they had a competition out here, so I went to go visit them. And I remember I was watching, so this is probably like a year since I had stopped gymnastics. And I was watching whatever girl in the bars. And that was my first moment of realization of like, I used to do that shit. Like, how the fuck did I do that? And
Could you still do it?
I still flip around and stuff, yeah. But when I was in it, I never actually realized what I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like, I didn't realize how crazy that actually was. I saw a girl fucking eat it, and I was like, damn, I'm so happy I don't do that shit anymore.
When you're a kid, you can fall harder, and it's fine.
Yeah. Well, my coach, she's fucking awesome. We still talk. But she focused on beam and floor. And if we crotch the beam,
What does that mean?
like split the beam,
Yeah.
or if we, whatever, we couldn't sit down, we couldn't cry, we couldn't do anything emotionally about it. We had to get up and literally do it again.
Whoa.
Some people are like, well, that's kind of like tough, or like, isn't that just, that doesn't feel right or whatever. And I'm like, no, at the time I was like, yo, this fucking sucks. But whenever I did it and I got up and did it again, I stuck it.
Wow.
So it was like, yeah,
Wow.
just get back up.
You need good coaches and guides like that who will push you and poke at the things that are hard. It's so important.
I feel like you don't really get that as much anymore. There's very few people that will actually be straight with you, or.
And I feel like that's when someone really cares about you and really loves you. It's like they're not there to be your friend and to make you feel good. They're there to push you to be the best that you can be.
Yeah.
And there's not as much of that lately.
Yeah, the greatest are the greatest for a reason.
Yeah.
It's not because they fell and cried about it. It's because they kept getting back up and doing it over and over and over again.
100%.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people lost that mentality.
Yeah, things feel pretty mediocre
Yeah.
in general.
I got on my sister because when I went to Atlanta, I was getting her ready for homecoming, and they were talking about school or something, and she said like she had like a C in whatever subject, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?" She was like, "What?" I was like, "You have a C?" And looked at my mother, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? First of all, you let that happen. I had to have straight fucking A's." But then I looked at her, and I was like, if you want, you want to go to UCLA, you want to go to Berkeley, wherever you're going, like, you
C's
can't
not
have a
gonna
C.
cut it. Yeah.
You can't have a C. Just because you are a great gymnast, that doesn't matter. You got to be great, like, as a whole. Like, you can't just, like, get by with a C. You have to get an A. Like, you got to get your shit up if you want to go to schools like that.
I got a C in PE. I got all A's, but I got a C in PE. You got a B in PE?
For being a fucking gymnast, I got a B.
Dang.
I was livid.
PE, I was so mad because I had all A's and I got C in PE.
Why did you get a C in PE?
I didn't like go there on time or do anything.
I didn't put in effort, so
I don't know why.
I got a C.
Like, this is stupid.
But you're very like athletic, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really not.
No?
No.
I thought you were for some reason.
I'll take the compliment, but no, not really.
No?
I didn't really grow up with sports and things. I wish I did, but I didn't grow up that way.
You just eat super healthy, is that what it is?
I eat healthy, yeah.
Okay.
But I also just have like the build of I could eat whatever I wanted, honestly.
Fucking guy, like, yeah, I just have really great metabolism, it's
But I do eat really healthy.
It's great. I just like, I can eat whatever I want, great metabolism. I just go on like a
Tater
10-minute walk.
tots.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on a casual walk, get
do
a
a hike.
six-pack.
Oh yeah, because you do. So that's why I thought like, because when you and Reese would work out, your build is like, I just assumed that you were athletic for some reason.
Well, but yeah.
It isn't a bad thing to assume, but
No, at that time too, I was
fucking
working
workout
out a
god.
lot.
You people annoy me. People like you are what's wrong. You put very unrealistic expectations.
You know what I
everyone
think it is, though? You know what I think it actually is with metabolism? Is my brain, my mind goes 1 gazillion miles an hour at all times.
So that's your cardio?
So I think it burns a lot of calories. And the empathy meter and the just like seeing things, I feel like that burns calories.
Fair.
This is science.
Well, I did a big Reiki session on myself, and it was during the blue moon, the big one a few months ago. And that one was weird because at first, like, I couldn't really feel anything with my chakras. And so I was like, am I fucking doing this right? Like, what's going on? But then I ended up like fucking transporting, and I was like expanding everywhere. And I was like I felt like I was outside of like my apartment building.
Whoa.
And getting all these like, you know, messages and insights, and I literally walked out of my room and my roommate was like, you could? And I was like, I'm feeling a lot of things right now. Can we go outside?
Yeah, you definitely have like superpower radar.
For sure.
You for sure do. First time I met you, I was like, oh yeah.
So that was when I was figuring it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
when we
you
met.
still you always have it, right? Like you
Yeah.
come with it and then you're like unlocking it.
Because I knew I always had something, I just didn't know what it was. And
Yeah.
then learning about it with Reiki and like sound bowls and like
'Cause you were-
transcending and like,
You weren't doing that when we met.
no, I was like, at that time, I think I was like getting interested in learning about it. But after I did that session with myself, I looked in the mirror and it kind of seemed like I got a lymphatic drainage massage
Whoa.
because I wasn't bloated at all. So like, and I don't know if I was just like, that could have just very well been my body dysmorphia, but but I was talking to my roommate about it, and I was like it's weird because I feel like a lot lighter than I did yesterday, and it looks like I got a lymphatic drainage massage.
Whoa.
It was very weird. So whatever I did during that session, it just like released a lot of shit.
How did you learn Reiki?
My manager is a Reiki master, and me and her, the reason why we connected so well is because we have like the same views in terms of like spirituality. But when we met, I was 14, and I don't think at that time she had even really gotten into Reiki or anything yet. But like we talk about crystals, past lives, and you know, kind of like the kindergarten version of it.
Yeah.
And then this past couple of years, she became a Reiki master, and introduced me to other light workers and healers. And my teacher's name is Queenie. She's just like this badass like Filipino woman. And I was like, yeah, like I would love for you to teach me and train me. And so yeah, I did my level 2 a few months ago.
Cool.
Yeah. It's so cool. It's like the coolest fucking thing ever. I always get so excited whenever I'm like, I feel like a little kid. I'm like, first day kindergarten, like just like ready. It's like, it's so cool to learn about. It's like fascinating.
It's so wild what you can do, like with the tools that you're given, with your hands, with your mind, how much healing you can give to other people and yourself. And like, I remember a long time ago first learning about like chakras and your energy centers and magnetic lines. I'm like, I don't know, I can't really like feel that. But then you start to like, you can feel the things like in people and in others. And I think there's an innate knowing, at least for me, like there was always an innate knowing of like, I'm just drawn to someone's spirit or soul. Yeah, we get along. It's easy to be around this person. And a lot of that's sort of in their aura and it meshes with you. But then like being more consciously aware of what's going on is so cool, and seeing more and knowing more and like really
the
seeing
veil's
into someone's
shedded.
soul. Yeah, yeah. The veil gets thinner and thinner, and even like connecting with ancestors is so cool. Like when I was in London, my grandma came through so strong. We did this Samhain like ceremony for Halloween.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so cool, and my grandma was just like there, and she was like, "I'm so proud of you," and like you hear her and see her like so well. I started like tearing up because I'm just like, "Oh, like you're here, like I
They're
can
always
hear
here.
you," and they're always here. But it's cool seeing that and feeling that more, like all these people who came before us, and every thought that they had and emotion that they had is in you, and we kind of stand on this mountain of our ancestors, of millions of people before us.
I'm starting to feel other people's angels or, you know, ancestors, or because I was with my friend and we were talking about something, and I was like, do you have like an angel or like someone that like has passed that like you feel connected to still? And he was like, yeah, like my grandma and this person and this person. And he was like, why, is someone here? And I was like, yeah, like I feel like someone, it's a feminine energy, so I think it's your grandma. But that's interesting for me because now I'm starting to feel other people's peeps.
Yeah,
Whereas,
you
like,
got a
before,
queen around you.
A queen?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a queen over here.
That might be my grandma Lucy then. She's always around. And when I got my attunement for level 2, do you know what attunement is?
I don't know much about Reiki.
Reiki, you would love it. It's a energy source. So when I do Reiki on someone else, I'm not healing them. It's not like I have like these superpowers to heal you. I'm like holding the space and opening it up for that energy source to come in and balance and harmonize and remove blockages. But an attunement is basically like, it's basically getting a superpower from the universe, and it's like expanding yourself more and opening yourself out more so your gifts become heightened. So like I used to be able to see auras, and then that stopped when I went down my dark path. But now I'm like starting it again, so I can like, it depends on the person, but like sometimes I'll just see like a glow, and sometimes I'll see yellow, sometimes I'll see blue.
Okay, what color's my aura?
I'm not like in right now.
Like,
I'm not like in, you know. So that's the other thing I'm working on, is because before I used to just be able to see it, but now I have to kind of be like, I gotta be like in it. Like I gotta have like my super suit on in a way.
yeah, I get that.
For me to be able to see it. So now I'm like trying to work on it to where I can just see it without me grounding myself or like doing whatever I need to do to be able to.
I'm seeing purple.
Purple? Oh, queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, purple's a royal color. So I have that, and then I can like hear, or you can ask to see things. So at one point I was seeing a lot, and I was like, hi, can we hold off on the seeing and just, can you whisper it to me? I don't really want to see, but I want to hear, so can we switch? But during my attunement, I was like very tense, and I was like sitting up in this chair, and I was like sitting up like very proper, and I felt my grandma Lucy, and then I literally felt her, she like grabbed my shoulders and was like, Pettis. And I was like, you're right. Thank you. She was like, fucking relax. You know what I mean? Like, in her fucking Filipino accent. It's so funny.
Grandma Lucy.
Grandma Lucy. Yeah, she's awesome.
Did you know her while she was here?
Yeah, I knew both of my great grandmothers. I like grew up with them. Just like awesome, because I know a lot of people don't get to do that. But my grandma Lucy, she ended up getting dementia. So, you know, she was kind of repeating the same thing over and over again. And she would forget a lot of people, but she never forgot me. And there was like, the last time I saw her, that was like the last like real conversation I had with her. And she was like, she said something about her being old. She was like, no, I'm old. I used to drink a lot of whiskey. It's like, makes sense. That's where I get it from. Lots and lots of whiskey, Paris. I was like, right on, me too, man. Like, me too.
What's in that cup?
This is coffee now, but like maybe a few years ago it would have been something different.
Little hair of the dog?
A little bit.
Isn't it funny how we do so much of what our ancestors did?
Mm-hmm. Very like repetitive.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess it's our job to break it.
Break it, yep. Same thing with like generational trauma.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Cause that's what my girls would tell me all the time. They're like, you're the one that's here to.
Yeah, you're the
break
break for sure.
And I was like, damn, man, like, why me?
It's hard to be the one. The one. Neo.
I am the one.
I am.
Oh, this responsibility.
So real. It's so real. I think a lot of people in LA are that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're supposed to be that. I
Yeah.
don't think you end up in the City of Angels on accident. You have to have some, I mean, I guess it's like, especially for artists and in entertainment, there's some
something that
root.
pulls you here.
There's something that pulls you here.
And then there's like the darkness of LA that you can
trap.
get wrapped into.
Big time.
And most of us do.
Well, it's like Pleasure Island and Pinocchio. You come here and it's like, and then you like, you're Pinocchio and you're like, I'm gonna go rescue my father or whatever.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm gonna go heal my generational trauma and dive down to the belly of the whale. But then he's like, oh, but I can smoke cigars and drink and like do drugs and party.
Make money and
And then he gets stuck and all those kids turn into jackasses.
yeah.
And then like, I mean, I did that.
Yeah.
I had that phase for sure.
Yeah, and then some people get out of it,
Some people
and
get
some
out of it.
people
Some people
unfortunately do not. And
Most people don't. Most people get stuck.
yeah.
Or you get stuck in proximity, especially in LA. People think that like if they're around famous people that they've made it.
Yeah.
And then they get stuck there.
If I'm at this party with these
I'm at-
people, I'm
exactly.
good. I'm successful.
Exactly.
Someone was talking about this this like new kid that's gonna be an artist, or he's a singer, and they were having a conversation about how to make sure he doesn't go down that road. And my friend was asking me about it, and I was like, honestly, I don't think you can really avoid that road, even if you have to go down it a little bit.
Yeah.
The only way that I can think for you to not go down that road is if you have a solid fucking foundation of people around you. And even like the strongest families, sometimes they don't even see it. You know, the strongest, most willed, like smartest people don't see it. So like, but that's the only way I think you can not go down the rabbit hole of LA is if you have a solid group of people. But if you do go down that route, as most people do out here, it's having the resources and the people to be able to help and aid if you are gonna go down that road for a second.
Yeah.
It's not just like, because when I went down it, I didn't have anyone telling me like, oh, do this, or oh, go to therapy, oh, do Reiki, oh, like, you know, it's okay, like, you're just feeling a lot of things, and like, it's really, you feel a lot of pressure, but that's okay, like, you're fine. Like, I didn't really have people around me telling me that, because everyone else around me was also feeling that, so we're all going down it together.
Right.
Because when you're 14 and you live out here and you're from fucking Wisconsin or Texas or wherever,
Yeah.
like you're literally in like a candy land or
You're-
like
yeah.
Neverland,
Yeah.
and you're
straight up.
making money and you're around adults and everyone's treating you like an adult, but you're still in school, and then you're working adult hours, and then you're at a party and someone hands you a drink, and it's like, oh, okay, that might be cool, and then it turns into this endless cycle of going to parties and drinking, and that turns into other things, so someone else hands you a bag, and it's like, it's like all this shit, and then all of a sudden, like, time goes by, and you're like, oh, wait, what am I doing? Like, how did I get here?
Yes.
But I didn't really have someone to be like, hey, maybe try this instead. I kind of had to figure that out on my own, because I would have a few friends that would be like, we know what you're doing, because after a while I got messier. So you would start seeing like, okay, she's not just acting drunk anymore, like there's something wrong. And so I had a few friends that would be like, you know, like, what are you doing? So then that time, when that happened, I was like, okay, like I need to fucking figure my shit out. But then I still had to figure it out.
You have to figure it out on your own, no matter what.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your friends say. Like, you gotta always, you always gotta walk your own path, figure it out on your own. But also, like, I don't know if you experienced this too, but I feel like my friends, like who I would party with at a time, we all kind of also grew out of it at the same time, and we like started getting into deeper things and the spiritual things and learning and expanding and growing, like, and now that same group of friends, a lot of them have become like so deeply tapped in and spiritual and aware of these things, and that's cool to see, like everyone's journey together, and even collectively. Like, I think in LA and everywhere, but like a lot of people are waking up. I think the world is getting, I don't think, it's getting brighter. It's getting, and it seems like it's getting darker, right? Like and worse. But I really think that we're just becoming more aware of the shadows, but it's because so much light is coming in now. Consciousness, you know, it's like, it's really expanding in the world and in us collectively. And then, you know, it's like this magnifying glass. If we have like little specks on the magnifying glass, if light's coming in that, then all of a sudden, you're gonna see the shadows more, because more light is coming in. And the more light that comes in, the darker the shadows are gonna look, and these world problems, but you're seeing it for the first time, where it was always there. It was always there. All the things, probably, you know, since 2020 on, so many things. But now we're just becoming aware of them, and awareness is the first step. And that's the external manifestation of it, right? But that's happening within each of us individually as well. We're illuminating our shadows and our negative egos. We're just able to see it for the first time.
Yeah, because you can't hide them, or you can't ignore them. Because if you ignore like the shadow parts of yourself, they're eventually going to come out.
They're going to come out
in like a worse way. And I learned that the hard way like a year or so ago, because I was like having this thing of like, oh, I'm not my old self. I'm not my old self. I don't do this anymore. Like, that's not me. Like, I'm going to push this person aside that I used to be. And then one day she was like, motherfucker, no. And she just broke out. And, you know, you make a mistake and you're like, wait, what the fuck? Like, I was fine. Like, I was doing good. I've been working on myself. Like, why did that happen? And then one of my teachers was like, well, you can't ignore her. You have to honor her. Like, you have to respect her, because like maybe you're not that person anymore, but that's still a part of you. So you can't just push her aside and act like she never existed, because then she's gonna come out and she's gonna bite you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I was like, okay, when you put it like that, understood.
You gotta make friends with the chaos. You gotta make friends with the darkness. It's like, you know what my favorite movie is ever? Sleeping Beauty. The OG one.
That's my favorite.
Is it really?
Not ever, but it's my favorite Disney movie.
It's so good, but the part where the king and the queen have Aurora for the first time, and they have a big party, but they don't invite Maleficent. They don't invite chaos in. And what the fuck does that do? It makes her like, it makes Aurora, they like bestow this negative curse on her. And then she goes out and lives, and she's just like, not really aware of the world, because they didn't invite chaos. You have to knowingly invite chaos in, invite that shadow in, because it's gonna show up anyway, like you said. And I love that part about Sleeping Beauty. I didn't get that as a kid, but then watching Sleeping Beauty now, I'm like, yo, it's genius. Because Aurora is the subconscious mind, and Prince Philip is the conscious mind. And when you watch the movie from that, codes.
I love that.
It's like
I'm
the
gonna have to watch it
Matrix.
again. It's the Matrix.
It's like the Matrix.
Sleeping Beauty and the Matrix. Everyone.
Same movie, told in different ways.
Yeah.
A lot of those Disney movies are like that too. They're like very like mythological
Yeah.
in nature.
Whoa.
Yeah, let's walk down.
Fine.
What are you doing the rest of the day?
I'm looking at apartments.
Cool.
Yeah. It's been a nightmare. I came home from my many of travels, and I went into my room. The construction people put a hole through my ceiling, and water came in and damaged my shit. And there's termites. Yeah. So yeah, looking at new apartments pretty much all day. Oh, what's interesting about that whole hole in the ceiling and fucking chaos is it was kind of like a reflection of my life and what's going on.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, and like
Right.
not in like a, oh, it's destruction, like, and like bad shit's happening. It's like, no, you're actually like breaking through and expanding.
Yep.
So you have to be in a space energetically
Yeah.
that is big enough for you.
Wow.
And it's like I'm also learning how to be vulnerable again, and putting, because this past year I really put, walls up, and so those walls are kind of going down a little bit.
Metaphorically.
And literal
physically.
fucking hole in the fucking wall.
Wow.
And I was like, I got it, guys. You didn't have to do that much.
Yo, it's so wild how that happens.
Yeah.
It's every single thing externally is mirroring our internal world.
Yep.
It's weird.
It's so weird.
I know. I this last year too. The house that I was at got this huge flood, like,
Ooh.
and so I went out on tour, and then the house had to get like sold, and so I came back from tour, and since then I've just been like couch hopping,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but it's interesting. It's a similar thing where it's my internal world being mirrored externally, where I'm like making room for something bigger. I had to get out of one place to move into something that's better suited for a new chapter. It's been good though.
Yeah, it gives you the freedom to literally kind of go wherever you want.
Yeah. I stayed in the Airstream for a while in Malibu.
Ooh, how was that? I've
It
always
was
wanted to do that.
so cool.
Were you like on a cliff kind of? So
Yeah,
you could
like
see the water?
up above, like in the hills, but then like you could see the water off in the distance.
That's so cool.
It was above the clouds too, so in the morning, like you'd be looking down at
You're
the
like literally
clouds.
floating on clouds.
Yeah, it was pretty
Sick.
and just quiet out there. Aliens are definitely real. Anyone who doesn't believe in aliens, it's like, do you believe in bugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I know bugs are real.
Also, we could just like literally be a speck. You know? Like we could literally be like a Horton Hears a Who.
Yeah, we
Situation.
are. We basically
Like-
are.
So you can't really think that we're the only thing out here.
No way.
And if that's true, that's scarier to me, personally.
But there's just like statistically no way.
Well, didn't they come out and say like, yes, aliens exist?
Yeah, they did actually, like a few times. And then and Mexico.
Is the guy dead yet that talked about it?
No, they're like it's like real now. Yeah, but honestly, for a while people
he-
were disappearing.
Is he still alive?
Right.
Have we checked on him?
Yeah, serious.
Tends to happen when someone speaks up about something. They just go missing. Anyways, that was dark.
But
real.
But real.
Fair.
You know, like the guy who invented the engines that could run on water.
You know
He
what's so?
disappeared real quick.
That's so weird you just said that, because my dad was literally just talking to me about it But no, that is weird that you just brought up that hydro engine shit.
Oh yeah, wait, why?
Because my dad literally was telling me about it.
Oh, weird.
Like when I was in Atlanta last, we were literally talking about it. 'Cause we were talking about like when people start to make a change, they end up dying.
Says Michael Jackson.
And so like, and we were talking about like the, you know, like gas in cars and then the batteries of Teslas because they kind of don't know how to get rid of the batteries for the Teslas.
Right.
And then he brought up the hydro car and how that person went missing.
Yeah.
But it worked.
It totally worked.
And I was like,
I think there's been a few of those too.
yeah, because there was one person that did it and then another guy did it again.
Uh-huh.
And both of them
Both of them
yeah.
went missing.
Yeah.
Should we take a photo?
Yes.
Cut.
Done.